Good morning.
Good morning.
Noreen and I were out doing some Christmas shopping yesterday. And as I looked around, there were little ones, there were adults, and they were all seeking to choose something either to give or to keep. And as I was there, my mind just said, is this what Christmas has come to? Where did the notion of Christmas come from? It was not practiced by the first disciples. This is something that was added on later in the church, sometime around the 4th century. And it has become a commercial period to make money. And the message of Jesus is lost. Because love, as Jesus taught it, is not practiced today. Love, as we know today, is an emotional state in which we rather and prefer when things are going well. And the same that we love, when things are not going well, we hate. And I began to think last night about all the wars that we have today, all coming out of personal thoughts, personal beliefs, and nothing to do with what Jesus taught, love. Meaning, being at oneness with your brother, your neighbor, your friend. For wherever there is oneness, there can be no war. Wherever there is love, there is just being. And as I thought about that, I asked myself, did Jesus taught us to be individuals who get caught up in other people's things? And the answer came to me in a funny way when Jesus said, of myself, I can do nothing. It is the Father within me. He does his works. And I kind of marveled at that, and I said, you know, Jesus, the historical figure, is not what we think Jesus is today. That Jesus was a teacher who taught from the Jewish perspective that God was this omnipresence that was ever present wherever they were. God did not have a son, but every human being was made in the image likeness of God. Therefore, every human being has God as his or her Father. That we didn't need a son of God to come to us because we are already the sons and daughters of God. And I think this is what Jesus was trying to tell us. But after his death, his message got corrupted by pagan thoughts and pagan beliefs. And what we have today is not this message of love that is brought forth through forgiveness. And this message that Jesus had when he said, love God. And the second commandment is, love thy neighbor as thyself. That's something, you know, can I really love somebody else as I love myself? When I don't love myself? Can I really do that? When I say I love myself, what am I saying? Am I saying that I'm emotionally tied to myself, that I can't let myself go? No. say I love myself, I say I want to be the best me that I can be. And I would not let anyone or anything deter me from letting what is in me come out. Because I love myself so much that I want to be a light that shines so brightly that it influences the world. Isn't that wonderful? Yes. That when I love myself, I free myself from all the yokes that I place mentally on myself about what people think about me. Because I come to know who I am. That as a child of God, created in the image and after the likeness of God, all of God, wherever I am, is always in me. Just think about that. Wherever I am, God takes me and I take God. There can be no absence of God in me or wherever I am. As Paul puts it so nice, he says, in God we live and move and have our being. It's like God is just giant, whatever it is. And we like cells move in and through God. When I understand this, something happens. I am no longer afraid of anyone outside of me because I know that greater is He that is within me than he that is outside of me. So I could stand up wherever I am and find a creative way out of any situation because I don't enter any situation with fear, but with faith. Knowing that what I think about, I can bring about. I see the good that I am. And then all I want to do for the world is to bring this good forth so the good can glorify the good that is in God in their presence and always with them. How are we doing? Jesus reminded his disciples. He said, ye are gods. It is written in your law that you are God. Because if you came from God, hello now, you are gods. It means that all that the Father has, you have. So when I see myself as a spiritual being, I am saying as a spiritual being, I am one with this universal spirit that we call God from the Jewish perspective and the early Christian perspective. That when I say I'm a spiritual being, hello? Spirit means energy, plain and simple. Spirit is like the breath. Spirit is like the wind, that I can go freely forth wherever I want to, not being intimidated by anyone outside of me. See, this is a different type of teaching. A teaching when you have to come to believe in yourself. That all power is given unto you, mentally and physically. This is what Jesus tried to teach us. He says that the things that I do, you shall do, and greater things than these. That the possibility is that you could ascend greater than I am. Because we all came from the same source. And if you could learn to use the source as I did, greater things will you do. This is the type of consciousness that Jesus tried to develop in his disciples. When he called them, he said, follow me. He didn't mean walk behind me and duck fire. No, he meant, I'm going to teach you some stuff and you practice. If you practice, you will be like a wise virgin who, when waiting for the bridegroom to come, bought a lamp, put oil in the lamp, got a wick, put into the lamp, got a shade, and always had a lighter in the pocket, matches or something to light the light fire. The reason why? As we walk to meet whatever we hope to meet, we have to be prepared. Preparation means practice. The more I practice, the better I become. The law of increase says what? The more you use, is the more you shall have. For to him who hath, more is given. That is the kind of consciousness that Jesus tried to develop in his disciples. He said to them, judge not. Meaning what? Don't label anything out of its natural state. It is a spiritual being, and since with you all things are possible, with everything outside of you, that possibility is there. He said, don't name anything. Don't call anything evil or bad. I don't know. Try to see things in their spiritual life. See them as absolute good. Now that is a very difficult one to practice. Because sometimes we encounter people who we describe as bad. They're not bad. Because they have more friends than us. They have more go-to people than us. So if we are judging out of character, it means what we will meet along the way will be a mixed bag of things that sometimes don't go our way. But when you enter a situation realizing that wherever I am, good is, and have the expectation for good, you will find the good. This is what Jesus taught his disciples. See, Jesus was a wonderful teacher, and he taught in parables, and he also taught in statements that they could relate to. When he said, you are the light of the world, everybody knows what a light is. Because wherever there is light, there is no more darkness. And he said to them, he said, let your light shine. It means that we all have something in us that we can do what? Give forth. And when we do that, we become like a light. He says, don't put your light under a basket and hide it. Some of us hide our lights because of what other people have said we are, based on where we came from. Have you ever been involved in hiding your true self? Not coming out of the little... Because some of us are like hermit crabs. We borrow the shells from other people and we hide in there. Because sometimes it's easier to hide and not let your true self come forth. Because then they wouldn't ask you to do anything. Because they wouldn't know what kind of talents you have. And you're boiling up inside because you really want to help. But something inside says to you, you can't do that. You ever been like that? Have you ever been like that? Yes. Let's talk, we're talking, come on. Have you ever been like that?
Yes.
Yes, I've been there. I'm still there at times. Sometimes you know in your heart, you should say yes. But then you go back to age 5 when they said you were the slowest kid in the class. And you would not amount to anything. Why wouldn't you be like your sisters or your brothers? In my case, with my sisters. And you believe that. Hello? You believe that. Some of us believe that we were the ugly ducklings. Well, in my case, a swan. But what I'm saying, all these statements become like shells that people have placed upon us, and we stop living who we are. so our lights do not shine, so people never come to know us. And the acts that we commit are not in accordance with who we really are. So we become Pygmalion. We do what they say we should do. You ever did that? Mm-hmm. They say you're going to be there, so you're there. That's what they want me to do. I will do that. Jesus said, I am. Then he said, I'm the bread of life. Then he said, I'm the good shepherd. And he made a lot of I am statements relating to himself because he discovered what he was really all about. He went back to when God spoke to Moses, and when Moses asked the question, well, who should I say send me? And that present said, I am. That means the creator within you. Every time you invoke that creator within you, whatever you place behind it, you become. So when I say I am great, I mean right now I am great and I will be greater tomorrow. But if I keep repeating what they told me I would be, that's why I'm in the state that I am in. Because whatever you say I am to, that's who you are. Who are you? You can answer, I am. Speak out loud. Who are you?
I am.
I am what comes after I am. That's what I want to get from some of you all. Who are you? I am blessed. I am brilliant. I am magnificent. I want from this side too. I am what? All right. I am magnificent. I am what else?
I am creative.
I am creative. What else?
Beautiful.
Is that Richard? Yes, beautiful. You see, if you don't know who you are, you will buy into what they say you are. When Jesus asked his disciples, who do men say that I am? And some said, well, you're like a Moses or Joshua or like this. Then he said, what? But who do you say I am? Who are you? This is what Jesus was teaching his disciples. To speak the word and set yourself free. Amen. Hello now. Do you know by just saying I am great, healing can take place in your body? Just saying I am health or I am whole, that becomes you. If you speak the word by lifting your consciousness to where you want to be, eventually if you practice I am health, you must be healthy. But you see, a lot of us do affirmations like we do medication. We take an aspirin, and as soon as we feel like the pain gone, we stop. Close the bottle. And when the pain comes back, well, we need double dose now, take 2. And what happens? Same thing. And that's what we go through life. We go through life taking a little bit, like it working, and we stop. Practice means whatever I practice, I must become. So that the habit is set in, and I keep that going on all my life so that the old stuff will not come back. You ever had a little boil, and you take something and it goes away, and 3 days after you're still looking for it to come back? Because the expectation is that you will not be whole. This is temporary. Life, although on this plane appears to be temporary, life is permanent. And we should be looking for statements and living the statements that says, I am perpetually healthy. I am perpetually wealthy and happy. Not just for today. Only hungry people want to get filled for today. People who want to live a life of abundance expect to live until when? Forever. Not until you die. That means you're looking for death. No. I want to live a life that is prosperous. Period. Stop right there. I want to be happy. Period. I want to be healthy. Period. I want to be well. Period. I want to be good looking. Period. Don't follow me, you know. Jesus as a teacher taught that the greatest love is to love yourself. By loving yourself, you love God. When I say yourself, I don't talk about your body. I'm talking about who you are. Helena, made in the image, likeness of God. He said, if you see me, you see the Father. Wow. Now that is powerful. That our aspiration is to be as perfect as our Heavenly Father is perfect. Hello. That means in God there is no sickness, no lack, no limitation. In God there is no unhappiness. Hello. That means perfection is not a state to be reached. You could never reach perfection. But I climb every day towards that. And I keep my mind focused on being perfect. That means absolutely good wherever I am. And every day I wake up, I start again. I don't rest on the laurels of yesterday. Every day I become consciously aware of my mission in life. To live, to be as perfect as I can be in this moment. Based on the information that I have, I do the best that I can. But I keep my mind open and receptive to new information that could help me go forward. If you want to say climb the ladder and go up a little more. My role in life is not to stay where my parents dropped me off, but to move light years beyond them. You know what that means? If I am still doing the same things and have the same beliefs that my parents had, that's conditioning, then I have not grown. My aim in life must be to always grow. So right now I am growing because why? I'm listening to myself, and whatever is coming out of my mouth is going right back into me. And I'm asking myself, Evan, did you believe this yesterday? No. Is there truth in this? What can I do? This is what Jesus taught us to do, is to keep our minds open and receptive, because we do not know when God will speak to us. One of the things that about 20 years ago I came to realize is that I know nothing. Wow. Now that is a statement that a lot of people don't like to hear. I know nothing. And one of the reasons why I don't know anything is because I have never been here before. And all the information that I have brought forth from the past. But this is the present, this is now. I have never been here. So how could I know how to live right now if I am not what? Reliving the past? That's why I end up every Christmas. I remember when I was a younger man, my favorite phrase around this time. Father, forgive me for saying it, but I have to use the I am. Father, you could forgive me. I better not use it. My statement was, I was poor and polite. I don't know. You know what happened to me for about 40 years?
Poor and polite.
I proved the point. I proved what poverty was, but I was polite in it. I always had a smile. Like so many Christians, here now, poor but we smiling. Praise the Lord. How could you praise God when God is abundance and you are not experiencing the abundance of God?
Yes.
Hello now. Yes. All the patriarchs in the Bible were prosperous. Hello now. They were prosperous. And we Christians are walking around with slippers, making people believe it's a style we don't have shoes. That's why. We don't have shoes. It says our experience should be one of what? Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That's abundance. Yes. We shouldn't be living in lack. If you are living in lack, you're not following Jesus. Jesus said what? I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Hello, excuse me? Have it what?
More abundantly.
Meaning what? Plenty, 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 flowing all the time. I should never be in a state of want. I should never be in a state of lack. If I'm in a state of lack, I am not following the teachings of Jesus. I am following the dictates of the organizations that crept up after the death of Jesus. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Are you a follower of Jesus, or are you following some man's understanding of what Jesus thought it was? Gotta be careful now. Because sometimes we give our hearts to these groups, big and small, and we don't think for ourselves. Jesus encouraged his disciples to think for themselves. You see, thinking for yourself is very difficult, because then you've got to take responsibility for what's happening in your life. And a lot of us can't take responsibility for what's happening in our life because we have been conditioned to do what? Blame. When things don't go right, well, I fell out with my best friend because she did this. What did you do? Were you in it too? Well, I fell out with my best friend because she did this and she did. But what did you do in it? You just stood there, stood in the rain and let the rain just fall on you. See, when you believe that you are a victor, you could conquer anything. But when you believe you are a victim, you will walk out of friendships believing that the other people have power to make you get dissatisfied. You ever had that? Jesus taught you to be a victor. I am the light of the world. I am the salt of the earth. I am the bread of life. I am the door of the sheep. It begins with me. Doesn't begin with anybody else outside of me. It begins with me. This is what the Christ consciousness is all about. Developing the Christ consciousness means I take responsibility for everything going on in my life. Not some. Because some of us have compartments in our minds, right? That belongs to them. Or there are those, these, and the smallest one is me. No. Living the Christ life means it is my life. Every part of it is lived by me and through me. Once I gained consciousness, and once I got to understand that when I did not do my homework, my parents didn't get strapped. I got strapped. And if my parents found out that I got strapped, they strapped me. I don't know. I learned then either to be the best liar or to take responsibility. I don't know. You know, there were some days, you're going to school and You know it's coming down the pipe. But you hustle. And you work fast. And you presented something and you got spared. And then you start practicing the 11th hour. You know what the 11th hour is? Just before you do it. And these habits are still with us. That's why we get short-changed in life. We don't want to put in the work to get the results we want. We want to piggyback. I remember like in high school, some of my friends would copy and even put the person's name on the top. You were given power to create. There is nothing that stands before you that you cannot do if you make up your mind to do it.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
There is nothing in the front of you to be afraid of, because once you can see it, you can conquer it. And it says, don't look back. So there's nothing behind there preventing you from being who you should be. Stop blaming your parents. Hello. When they brought Mary to Jesus, he said, who is that woman? You know who is my family? Those who hear the word. My friends. Those who walk around with me and do the things that I do. Don't get emotionally tied to family. Especially this time of the year. Brings back memories. Who owes you a turkey leg? Last year. You remember what happened last year? You remember? I hate that woman. No. Don't look back. The whole turkey is yours. Fear not, little flock. Hello now. It is my pleasure to give you all of it. Hello now. If you feel they're going to take the turkey leg, you walk with your own turkey. Get socks and put on the turkey leg and stamp. It's yours. The whole kingdom is mine. I don't have to fight for anything. That's the beautiful thing of what Jesus taught us. All is ours. You remember the prodigal son when he went home?
Yes.
No. The father said, son, you're my son. You could take whatever you want, and when you come back, all is still yours. So sometimes we could go out and mess up. You ever messed up in life?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Don't hold yourself guilty. God does not hold you guilty for the things that you thought you were doing right when you were a certain age. I remember my father and I used to have some good discussions when I was 11. And he used to just shake his head. This is when I got to be a man. I got to realize how stupid I was. You speak what you know and hold to be truth at that age. And you just hear a little bit of something and you figure you know. And adults would shake their heads and say, the boy wants to learn, but the boy is still a fool. Sometimes, when you're a child, it's good to be a fool. But when you become an adult, you have to learn to put away childish things. When you were a child, your parents were responsible for you. Now you are an adult. You are responsible for you. Say with me. I am responsible for me.
I am responsible
for every word that comes out of my mouth.
For every word that comes out of my mouth.
For every action I do.
For every action I do.
And all my reactions.
And all my reactions.
Because I am the thinker.
Because I am the thinker.
Out of which all these things come.
Out of which all these things
I think the thought.
I think the thought.
I practice the thought.
I practice the thought.
And I get the results.
And I get the results.
And all mine. Isn't that frightening? This is why people don't like new thought, right? We could come and give you 5 Hail Marys, 2 Holy Marys, 1 Our Father, and I could tell you, go and sin no more. And as soon as you leave me, you sin. And you come back day in, day out. But what we try to teach you is that all of us sin daily.
Yes.
But God does not hold us to our mistakes.
Amen.
You know what is the grace of God? That unconditional love, that life still lives in you. You could be the greatest criminal. Life is still offering you opportunity to grow. Isn't that nice?
Wonderful.
Isn't that nice? It doesn't matter what you have done in life. Once you could breathe, you have a chance to correct what you have done. Hello now. Stop labeling yourself as bad. See yourself as a spiritual being in the process of growing. I will make mistakes. But you know something? The best is yet to come.
Yes.
That's the grace of God, is knowing that it doesn't matter what has happened in the past. Right now, if I could say and believe in all my heart that the light of God is now flowing in and through me, it will. Yesterday is past, and everything that happened yesterday is only a memory tucked in your mind. Don't let that memory rule you. Now, come to know, as Jesus said, you are a son, and if a son, an heir. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yes.
If a son, an heir, I am not a servant. Hello now. I am the rightful claimant. To be an heir is one who can claim. I can claim all that God is. Hello now. That to me is so clear. I don't have to walk around and beseech and beg. When I show up before God, I say, God, here I am. Give me what you have for me. That's claiming. That's what the prodigal son did, right? He went to his father and said, Father, give me all that you have for me. And the father did what? Gave the son. He didn't question, well, all that I have belongs to the eldest son because he's the real heir. He said, no. Whatever is yours, you go. And the son went off. Casino Rama. The party district down at Adelaide. You told me. Every night. Hello? Gamble.
Did he win?
Party.
Did he
Shangri-La, Hotel Shangri-La.
Did he win at gambling? Well, that would be good.
And wasted it. You know how sometimes life has given us creativity. Life has given us the ability to go forth with strength and courage. And we waste it all on some petty thought pattern. Somebody touched me in the grocery store and I am upset for the rest of the month. That's a prodigal son. Hello now. who wasted energy on petty stuff. Have you ever wasted your energy on petty stuff?
Yes.
Hello?
Absolutely.
Don't boast?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes. But you know something? As soon as you come to your senses and say, I don't need to do that anymore, hello now, all the energy that you still need to live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life is still yours.
Yes.
Hello now. There's no waste in God, because God is life, and God says, what? Go ahead. Through Jesus, what? I came that you can do what? Have life. He didn't say have it abundantly. He said what? Have it more abundantly. That means, oh my gosh, I could never run out of opportunity. Hello? This is the building the Christ consciousness. When I know who and what I am the greatest thing in life. And nobody could stop me. So I will not allow what you say or do to me stop me from living.
Amen.
Hello. In fact, I came to the conclusion, what you think about me is none of my business. You hold the prototype and that will get to you every time you see me. You will get yourself not up. And I will be smiling through life. But you will be in chains. So I don't show up on your doorstep every morning with a smile. Fry, baby, fry. What I'm saying to you is, this Christ consciousness, the platform for living this Christ life is love. It is so important that you understand what this love means. This love means oneness. Wherever I am, whatever is there, whoever is there is at oneness with me, because we all stand on the same platform called God. Hello now. I may not be doing what you are doing. Based on my understanding, I do things differently. But you know, we all want to live the good life. And what I think is the good life for me may not be the good life for you. But my role is not to condemn you and say you're such a horrible person. No! I bless you as I bless myself. Hello now. The greatest way to prosper is to love your enemies and to do good to them who have used you in a wrong way. Hello now. Can you do that? Hello now. They cuss you out. They went to the police station for you. No. They went to your boss. You got fired. They call your wife and they said, I saw him by the bamboo. She leaves you.
You gotta explain that one.
Metaphors are cultural. The only people who laughed in here were Trinidadians. Meaning to be caught in the wrong place. What I'm saying is that Jesus said it so nicely. Blessed are those who are persecuted for me, standing up for the I am in yourself. Knowing who you are, and in the midst of persecution, I am Evan the Great. You could stone me with your words. They cannot penetrate that I am. Because I am not afraid of he who can kill the flesh. Because greater is he that is within me. You may take this body and carve it up, but you will never get that I am to conform to you. the life that Jesus said we should live. It doesn't matter what they do to you. They could cheat. Hello? They can't touch me. They can't come near to me because I stand on a rock that cannot be moved. Hello? Woo! Isn't that wonderful? Yes. When you know who you are and whose you are, hello now. When you know that I and the Father are one and the Father's good pleasure is to give me the kingdom, I can walk alone. You know, sometimes it is better to walk alone than in company. The greatest walk is to walk alone and commune with the presence with you. Sometimes you're walking with people and they're flooding your ear with criticism, condemnation, and all kind of stupidness. Break away. Do like Jesus when he invited the 3 disciples to go pray and he left them and they fell asleep. He came down. Finally said, sleep on. The mission in life is not about you. It is for me climbing higher. Isn't that where you want to climb?
Yes.
You want to be better than you are. Hello, you can't hang around with people who are not going anywhere. Sitting in a stalled bus for 12 hours. One more cracker left. And that's when you decide enough is enough. As soon as the bus stops and it is clear they're moving, get off. Because some of us are on a bus that has been stuck for a long time. It ain't moving. And every morning we get a, God, move the bus. God, how come the bus ain't move yet? And then we start to sing. Oh, to Jesus I surrender. And the bus still stops. No. The I am in me says, I have heard the afflictions of my people, and I am come down to create a way out. Get out of the bus. Start walking. And as soon as you start to walk, you find somebody who can help you. Has that ever helped you? Yeah. When you stay stuck and complain, what happens? Hello now, talk to me. It's your message, not my message. I am just taking what you throw at me here and giving it back to you. Hello now, what happens? Stop and complain. There was a man who sat at a pool for 22 years complaining how sick he was. And he felt that an angel at some time comes down and whoever gets in the water first will be healed. Hearsay. A lot of us are stuck in situations because of hearsay. You know what is hearsay? Them say, they say, who say? Because when we are in trouble, we go to our friends, right? And they say. And my best friend said, this man believed that at some time when the angel comes, he will get strength enough to go in. But every year he gets weaker. And younger ones are coming in and going in the water and then healed. And he's there. And then Jesus came. And Jesus said to him, do you want to be healed? And he said yes. And as soon as he said yes, he was healed. Meaning, when the Christ wakes up in us and asks the question, would you like to experience abundance in all good things? Say yes. some of us like to make excuses before the yes. Well, I've been here so long, and the this and the that, and you know, well, I have the conkers and the bonkers, and I know they like that one better than me, and I know why they don't like me. Because, and we find because it's based on who our parents were, all the things that they say. Now, just say yes. And as soon as you say yes, something happens within you. A desire to experience what you're looking for takes hold, and something happens. Something happens. That creative part of your being kicks into being, and the imagination starts to run wild. I could do this, I could do that, I could, oh my God. And you find yourself getting out of bed and stretching the leg that you couldn't move for years, and no back pain anymore. You see, when you want to do it, that's the moment you will do it. Stop making excuses for the situations you are in. You are in them because you like them, and you stay long because you enjoy them. Because you have a story to tell. We walk around, I love to tell the story. No. Stop telling a story is a lie. It's a narrative composed in your head. It ain't real, it ain't true. Tell the truth. Wherever I am, God is. That means the possibility for me to live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life is right here. It ain't coming tomorrow. It's right now. Because now is the appointed time. Now is the moment for me to liberate myself from the pain and the struggle that I have had in the past. This is the time to wake up, shake off the grave clothes, and get up and start walking towards health, abundance, and happiness. Amen. If it ain't working, it's not the other person's fault. It is my fault to believe that it's not working, because it is working. I don't know. Because once you start an engine, you give it gas, it can work. But you don't know where to put your foot down. You mashing the brake. Because you're afraid that if it starts to go forward, you're going to lose what's going on. You ever want to go ahead, but because you don't know where you're going, you're afraid to go ahead? I don't know. It's like trying new things. We don't want to try new things because we are afraid of failure. And not realizing you could never fail at anything new because you don't know the outcome. We good? So this Christmas, give yourself the greatest present. Give yourself the gift of the I am. The power within you to create. Give yourself that. Wrap yourself up in tissue paper. Put yourself in a box. And get ready like a crackerjack to jump out on Christmas Day.